Alright guys, today I am going to teach you guys about the check-in and check-out process that I do with all of my vehicles when they're going out onto a trip and coming back from a trip. So today we are going to show you this vehicle right here. It is one of our 2012 Ford Escapes that we have that just came back from a trip. And I'm going to teach you guys how I check it in and check it out whenever it comes back from any trip or it's about to go out from any trips, like I said. So first thing you want to start off by doing is you want to make sure that the vehicle is relatively clean. So we're going to start off with the check out process, since obviously this one just came back from our trip. And first thing you want to do is do a roundabout and make sure that the car is clean. So obviously you're going to want to do the quick little circle that I did, make sure that there's no new dents or anything in the vehicle. Then you want to check the inside to see how clean or dirty it is. In this case, we got pretty lucky this time. It doesn't look super dirty, just a couple of little crumbs here and there, a little debris somewhere. Let's check the front. Same thing here, a couple of leaves and stuff. Nothing too crazy. Now, once you complete that in our end, we have to go looking for the keys. In this case, I had my guest check himself in with a lockbox that we have right next to our front door. And from there, he also checked himself out with a lockbox that we have right next to our front door. So I'm going to go ahead and get the key from the lockbox right now. Perfect. Now that I've got the keys, I want to go ahead and make sure that the gas and the mileage he didn't go too over on, or if he did go over on, then that's money. That's a claim that you can charge for. So let's make sure that all of that is fine. From there, we'll move on to the next step. So on this one, can't really tell, but the mileage here didn't go too far over it. He had it for about a week, and it was, I believe, 200 miles under that. And very clearly, he did not go over on the gas. So that's really good. You want to make sure that all of that is real nice and fine. And the next step here, what I like to do is go on a test drive, at least a 5-minute test drive, to make sure everything's still working properly and nothing is feeling pretty bad. So let's get going. Let's get on this test drive and I can talk to you guys a little bit more about the checkout process here. So for the checkout process, obviously, like I said, you need to take photos once the vehicle comes back, and you can go ahead and upload those photos right away. That is not as important as the check-in photos, but still, I'd like to have that on record so you can compare them and make sure that there is definitely no dents that you're just not seeing by yourself. Now, what is really important when it comes to checking the car out is to make sure that you do your inspection within 24 hours from when the trip happens. Now, most damages will only be covered within the 24-hour time span that you have within that. This is something that's really tricky for some people because, people run busy lives, So just make sure that you are getting within that 24-hour range of checking your vehicles, and you should be all right. The last thing that you would need to do for the checkout process is, of course, make sure that the car is clean. Basically, just give it a wash on the outside and vacuum it. But for a more detailed explanation, look out for my next video, where I'll actually be cleaning a car for you guys so you guys can see what that process looks like as well. Now let's talk a little bit more about the check-in process instead of the checkout process. Now the check-in process is when your customer is going to go ahead and pick up the car for a trip that's about to start. So when it comes to these, you should already have your car clean, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But maybe you don't have photos, so that's the first thing you want to start with. When it comes to photos for the check-in process, these are the very first photos you're going to see. So you're going to want to make sure that the initial photos have every single little dent and ding in your car that you think could be a problem for one of your guests. That way, when the car comes back, you know exactly what it looked like and exactly what it looks like now. I've had multiple different issues where I don't take enough outside photos and I just get the slightly wrong angle, and when the car comes back, there's a quick little ding in the bottom of the bumper or on the side of the fender, and it's just not showing up on any of my photos originally, so I can't prove that it wasn't originally there. Now, staying on the topic of photos and the check-in process, you have another thing that you want to take care of almost instantly, which is uploading your photos to the TURO trip. Now, TURO is a real stickler for this because of this little thing called metadata, which is on every single one of your photos. It takes track of where the photo was taken, as well as what time exactly and what date it was taken. So TURO uses this in their case to make sure that your photos are valid for any kinds of claims that you ask them to look into for you. So if you don't upload your photos right away, as soon as you take them, the validity of them can be questioned a lot more. I've had claims where they drag it for months simply because they can't find the metadata on my photos, and it's because I uploaded them late. So make sure to learn from my mistakes and just upload your photos right away. The last thing you need to do in the check-in process is confirm that everything that you need to have in your vehicle is still in your vehicle. This includes insurance, registration, any kind of chargers or things like that that are very easy to move. Sometimes I have phone holders in here so that the customers can easily have their phone somewhere. Guests even ask me for car seats for their children sometimes. So make sure that whatever needs to be inside of the car is still there, and that will let you move into the guest's arrival and continue from there. Guests' arrivals are very different for everybody, but one thing that is very, very clear, for no matter who you are, is the two fundamental things. You're approving your guest's license, whether it be through person or through the message where they send you photos to make sure that they're who they say they are, and making sure that they are 100% communicated on where they can locate the keys. I really can't stress this enough. Making sure that your customer knows how to get their rental key the moment that they get to your location is what's going to make sure that you get that 5-star for that trip. A guest that doesn't get that 5-star service at the beginning of their trip is already gonna have a distaste for the trip in general. So the final pieces of the puzzle for the whole check-in, check-out process are the two things that you need for your guest's arrival, which are you need to make sure that your customer is who they say they are, and you need to make sure that the customer knows exactly how to get their rental. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the change in scenery where we got to go on a bit of an adventure together today. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the next couple of videos where we're going to be talking about cleaning the vehicle a little bit more in depth, as well as a couple more of my personal experiences with some of my first TURO trips, so you guys can get some insight on that. And on that note, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.